let's talk about sustainable wellness, because I think that there's a lot of misconception, right, when it comes to wellness, when it comes to taking care of yourself, and how do you keep that going for the rest of your life? Let's do a little backstory on who we are and why this has come to the surface, why we're actually talking about this. Does that sound good?
Definitely. Let's go for it.
Okay. So, a little backstory. I was an athlete all my life, and I got injured many times. And it was because there was so many times where I was pushing my body to complete extremes, and I wasn't taking care of myself mentally at all. And I had a lot of injuries. I had to take a lot of time off of playing the sport that I loved because I never actually found that balance or that in between of making it sustainable. And ultimately, it led to me quitting early. You know, I spent so many years pouring into something, and I didn't even really get to finish it out in the way that I wanted to. And I don't want that to be the same story of my life. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, Dani, what's a little backstory of like why, and I'll add in too in just a moment here. I want you to share kind of like how you grew up and why this is such an important topic for you today. But I also want to add in the recent years of career and work and why it's also coming up again. So start though when you were younger. Why is this coming into the surface right now for you?
Yeah, so my whole life, my parents have been entrepreneurs. They've worked their butts off to create a life that they really enjoy. And throughout my whole life, I struggled mostly with my mental health. I struggled with extreme stress. I struggled with isolation. I just was not happy in who I was, along with struggling with my own sexuality, all these different things. The one thing that I knew that I wanted through watching my parents and through watching my parents just create things that they loved was I knew that I wanted to make an impact on the world, and that was it. I knew that I wanted to be successful doing something good for the world. And so I didn't know exactly how I was going to do that, but when I was 16 years old, after going to countless seminars and workshops with my mom, who is also in like the motivational world, she's a speaker, a TEDx speaker, all these different things, I learned that I really wanted to write a book. And so I didn't know exactly what I was doing, but I wrote my first book called To the Max, How to Create Your Ultimate Career and Life. And I was 16 when I wrote it. And I felt so passionate about inspiring other people to really do what they loved, even while I was struggling. And while I didn't know everything, and I thought I may have known everything at the time, so many things prompted me to just want to continue to inspire. And so I was also an athlete. I was great and still am great at tennis.
Confidence, baby. I love it.
I ranked very high, and so I was always striving for more. But there were so many things in my mind and just in my body that I was really struggling with on the journey to becoming great at tennis, becoming great in whatever career I wanted to go into. And so most of my life, I still struggled with not really feeling at peace with who I was, even though I was trying to give back to the world.
Yeah.
And so that was just like in high school and
college.
And in college. And actually, when I was in college, I started a company called Max 535, and I was creating bracelets that was giving a portion to kids with cancer who were going to this certain camp every year. And so I was really dedicated to giving back and selling things that I loved along the way. I loved that I was able to do something with my hands and still was able to do something online. And so there were so many points in my life where I just, before coming out happy, where I was just like, I want to give back to the world. I want to do something good. And I just kept continuing on that mission, but still never really knew how to take my mental health and my physical health into consideration along those lines.
So you can really see from these stories right here that we both had it so ingrained into us that we had to do anything we could to create success in our lives. And I'll speak for myself, and you can join in if you resonate with this, Dani, but I didn't really see a lot of balance. I didn't see getting out of survival mode. I didn't see, hey, let's take a break today. You know, let's check in with ourselves. I saw, no, you keep fighting, you keep going, and you figure it out. And I think, you know, in the last few years in our career and our entrepreneurial journey together, we really saw that come to the surface, because we could run all we want, but it's going to follow us until we look at it and we really dive into, why am I like this? Why is this showing up for me? So Dani, now let's fast forward into our career today and the symptoms and the ways that this stress has shown up for us individually, for us together, and now what we're doing about it to really shift what sustainable wellness and success looks like for ourselves, because we don't want to follow that same path of grinding so hard that you actually miss the moments that matter the most.
Yeah. So the symptoms, I think that's what you're asking, was for me, I was getting headaches. I was getting physically nauseous constantly. I was struggling with my sleep. I was isolating myself. I wasn't able to be social because I was only focusing on the work that I was doing every day. So my relationships were not really going that well. And I think I was just so I was lonely. I was getting headaches constantly. I was overeating. I wasn't sleeping, and those things really hurt me so badly.
Yeah, it was like, no matter the intention of wanting to serve the world and wanting to give back, it didn't matter. I mean, I'll speak from a partner standpoint and what I watched her go through, as well as I was going through my own stuff on the side. But as I watched her, like, it actually took her out of the work that she was trying to do that was really making an impact, because she couldn't show up. She couldn't show up in the ways that she wanted to because the stress would take her out. I mean, we'd have something to go to, but she couldn't go. She physically couldn't move. And I think when we saw that in her and then myself, where I would, let's just say, be at a workout, okay, pushing myself, getting up at 5:36 in the morning, and I'm at a workout and I leave the class running out because my nose just starts gushing blood. Because I'm so overwhelmed, so stressed, my blood pressure is so high, and I'm having a breakdown in the middle of the day when I'm trying to write an email, right? When this is showing up, we recognize and realize that we can't operate in the same way and run in the same systems that have gotten us to this point if we want to continue to help and serve and show up in the ways that we really know how. So I think those defining moments specifically, and we're going to talk a lot more about this, so make sure that you join our workshop. It's free on November 2nd. It's all about queer success amplified. We're going to dive into the 4 pillars that really have changed our lives, the ones that we've gone back to ground ourselves, reset, recenter, and figure out what it really means to know more about this moment and being present and actually creating success that's attainable and sustainable. Those are really important. And the 4 pillars, you want to write these down, you want to take note, maybe start thinking about how they apply in your life over the next week.
So we will be diving deeper into it, so don't worry.
Think about it in your own life for right now, and then come to our workshop and we're going to define them even deeper. But mindset, wellness, relationships, and impact. Those 4 pillars changed my life. I feel like I pulled myself out of a really dark hole that I was in. And I told Dani this morning, we were on a walk before we started this podcast, because we're taking more time to slow down and really enjoy these moments. And I said, I don't know how I did that. And she was like, you did it because you're rooted back into these 4 really foundational pieces and aspects so you could enjoy your life. And I was like, you're right. I did do that. And we did that together. And we worked really hard on allowing ourselves the space to explore what those meant to us. And I want to share every single bit of that with you, because you deserve a life that is filled with peace and happiness and love and amazing relationships. And I had a session last night, and I know you're going to say something, but just one second, I'm going to add one more little piece. I had a session last night. I was working with someone privately on the beach, and I'm a somatic therapist. If you know me, you know that. If you're new here, yes, I'm a somatic therapist. I work with people on connecting back to their mind and their body, connecting those 2 pieces so that they don't just talk about what they're going through, but they actually feel it and they can move it through their body. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So having a private session, and this person I'm working with, they're so always focus on success. They're always focused on moving forward. They're hard on themselves. They're a marathon runner. Like they show up in so many aspects of their life. and show up in their relationships, but they hold on to a lot of the pain from the past. And one of the things that we're really working on is how can we better figure out a way to release this pain so that you have more space and openness to enjoy the moments that are present right here. And that's really a lot of what we've had to do is go back and see those past versions of ourselves in order to figure out how to actually move forward. Why are you smiling?
You're tugging on my
Was
back.
I get passionate.
Talking.
I get passionate. I'm holding Danny's shirt here, I guess. I didn't even
Give
realize.
hands to yourself.
Where's that coming from? I feel so passionate about when I talk about this. It makes me excited to see someone releasing pain, putting their vision of where they want to go and the life they want to live and lead, and actually moving towards that. That makes me so excited, and that's exactly what we're going to show you on November 2nd. Yeah. So be there. Be square. I don't know why I said that.
I think the whole thing...
What does that even mean?
I'm not really sure.
Okay, whatever.
I think the whole thing that we're trying to do is on the journey towards success, because success is not a destination. It's a journey along with happiness, along with all these other things. We are redefining it for ourselves in so many different aspects, and we are working towards a fulfilling life in many different areas, and we are passionate people. We really want to create something that gives back, that, you know, fuels our hearts and so many others, and we want to create healthy relationships along the way. We want to be better in all these different aspects of our life. And so what we're learning for ourselves, we want to continue to give to you. So all of these different events that we're creating, we've had our Mindful Mixer series that's, you know, coming in 2024, even larger. And we're hosting retreats, all to help you become the leader, the person, the partner, the friend that you want to become along the way, because success is not just defined by, you know, the amount of money that you have in your bank account, but it's how you feel on the inside. It's the impact that you're making. It's the relationships that you have. It's about how you feel about yourself and so much more.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're listening to this before December 8th through the 10th, we're headed to Arizona where we're having our nature camp retreat. And this will be a really incredible opportunity to lead better in your own life, reset before 2024, and really connect and be in community with like-minded queer adults that are on the same page with what we're talking about right here. They want to grow. They want to support you. They want to support each other. We want to move towards a goal together and impact the world. That is the space that you need to put yourself in for opportunity to continue to create this sustainable wellness and success in your life so that it doesn't just pass you by. I'm not living my life in a way anymore where I don't focus on every experience that I'm having, where I'm not pouring into the moments of where I'm currently at. I want to show up better. I want to be better in my relationship with Dani, with my friends, with my family. I want to be in a place where I can show up and I go, I know exactly what you're saying because my mind's right here. And I've cleared the pain, I've cleared the stress, the overwhelm to really be present with where I'm at. That is a life that I really want to live and lead. And to me, that's success. So
we're working on it all together.
Let's do this. Like, take this podcast in, let it be an inspiration, light a fire under you that we don't know what tomorrow looks like. We don't know how many years are left, but we need to keep going and moving together and supporting one another. That's what we do here at Coming Out Happy.
Absolutely. So make sure that you register for the free workshop that we're having. Again, it's November 2nd. I'm going to leave the link below so you can check it out. And we would love to see you there.
Yeah. And if you're coming to our retreat, make sure you apply. You can book a call. You can learn more. It's December 8th through the 10th in Arizona. So we'll see you there.